If you're holding XRP right now, this is exactly the kind of development you've been waiting for. Ripple just partnered with one of South Korea's largest life insurance companies to pilot tokenized government bond settlement. And this is where things start to shift from theory into financial infrastructure. And the timing here matters because under the surface, liquidity, adoption, and price structure are all starting to align. So let's break down what this actually means and what XRP holders should realistically expect over the next couple months, 30 to 90 days or so. Now, quick disclaimer, of course, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Yes, I hold XRP. I'm long-term bullish on the utility of XRP, but I'm going to stay grounded on timing and risk, and that's what you should take into account for your own risk tolerances. So this came out today on April 15th. Ripple is partnering with man, I don't even know how to say the thing. Kyobo Life Insurance. So it's one of the largest insurers in South Korea to pilot tokenized government bond settlement using Ripple custody. So here's what that means in plain terms. Traditional bond settlement takes about 2 days. This pilot is exploring near real-time on-chain settlement. So instead of capital being locked up, delayed, or exposed to counterparty risk, you get faster and more efficient execution. So this isn't like a small market. Korea's government bond market is worth roughly $800 billion. So even a small percentage moving on chain is a massive shift in how capital flows. So now an important detail, this pilot doesn't directly use XRP as a settlement asset, but that's not the point. The real takeaway is this: it expands Ripple's infrastructure inside a highly regulated system. And historically, when Ripple's rails expand, XRP's relevance expands with it. So this is how adoption actually happens. It's not an overnight, price spike, but institutions quietly, if you're not paying attention, building, right? Now you are paying attention because you follow this channel and you follow channels like it. But if you're finding value here, please throw a like and a subscribe so we can get this information out to as many people as possible. Appreciate you guys so very much. Now, there's a bigger picture, this institutional pattern that's playing out. And the thing is it's not just happening in isolation. We've seen a consistent pattern over the past year. Institutions aren't just buying crypto. They're testing and building on the rails. This Korea move fits right into that trend. And if you zoom out, you start to see something clear. XRP isn't being positioned as a speculative asset. It's being positioned as part of financial plumbing, right? That's a slower narrative, I get it, but it's a much more durable narrative. It's way more durable. It's going to be here to stay. Now here's something most people kind of are missing, and it matters for price because over the past few weeks, exchange balances on-chain activity suggest a shift in positioning. In simple terms like there's less XRP sitting on exchanges, meaning less immediate sell pressure. At the same time, network activity hasn't dropped off. And that combination actually points to one thing, and that points to accumulation. It's not a hype-driven buying. It's gradual positioning long-term. And this is typically the phase where price compresses before a larger move. Now, it's not guaranteed, but structurally, it's a very different setup than like a weak market. I don't think we're actually in a weak market. I think we're in a building market. I know price feels down, so everyone thinks, oh, well, everything sucks and blah, it's raining every day. Guys, the market is being positioned right now, and that's something that you need to focus on. Don't focus on all the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and everything that you're missing out on, right? The doubt, FUD. Yeah, fear, uncertainty, a doubt. Yeah, don't focus on that, guys. Focus on this real world adoption that's happening. Okay, to reinforce all of this, this Korea thing, this isn't just one region, utilizing this stuff. Japan recently integrated XRP into Rakuten's ecosystem. Man, all these words, I'm probably saying that one too. Rakuten's ecosystem. And that is connecting it to tens of millions of users. That is real usage. So, you start to get loyalty points converting into XRP, spending across merchant networks. Again, it's not something that may spike the price overnight, but it's steadily building demand underneath the surface. And eventually, maybe we're going to have this supply crunch for XRP that people have been talking about for a while now. And that is something that could send the price really high, way up there, way up there. Okay, so let's keep it grounded. Okay, I know like macro still matters, and you've got ongoing geopolitical tension, a relatively tight monetary environment, and overall risk sentiment, it's still fairly cautious. So when people ask why XRP hasn't already broken out, what's the big part? Where's the secret sauce? That's a big part of the answer, really, is that it's not that fundamentals aren't improving. Fundamentals are most definitely improving. It's that liquidity across broader markets hasn't fully flipped yet. But I think we're going to come to a day where they do flip. And I mean, what you're seeing right now isn't weakness, it's compression. And every spring, once it's compressed, will be uncompressed. It's coiling right now, and then we're gonna have this expansion, explosive move, is what I think, and based off of all these things, all the fundamentals, everything's coiling, everything that's happening, all these use cases coiling, and then it's gonna blow. And so if we're talking about XRP, it's sitting around $1.39. Yeah, I get it. There's just key levels of support and resistance these days, and we're still range bound. We've just been hanging out in this zone, right? There's continued consolidation has been happening around that $1.30 to $1.45. Market's kind of waiting. We're trying to see. I would love to see us close above $1.50. If we close above $1.50, then we could be starting to push closer to that $2 range, maybe $1.80 or so. But XRP doesn't need explosive moves to move higher. It just needs continued progress like this, stacking behind the scenes. So if you step back, here's what today really tells us, is that Ripple is expanding into real financial systems. Institutions are actively testing the rails, and XRP is sitting in a compressed structure while that happens. That's positioning, guys. Now, I'm curious what your XRP price prediction is for 2026 based off of everything that we're seeing right now. Drop it in the comments below. If you're finding value in this, please subscribe and turn on those notifications. I'm trying to post a daily XRP updates for you. And we're going to just keep diving into this space and seeing all this amazing stuff that's happening. And if you want to go deeper, check out exponentialgroup.co. There's digital asset holdings there. If that's something that you're interested in, and why would you even want an LLC to begin with to hold your and custody your digital assets, you can check out Exponential Mastermind. That's where we have a whole group of people like the likes of Digital Outlook, if you're familiar with him, people in there that are learning and growing in this space together. It's a very positive place. But like always, you guys, I want you to be blessed, continue to stay positive, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one.